One of the top questions I'm often asked is, where is the best marina to keep my boat? As most of you guys know, we've kept our boats on beautiful Lake Simcoe in Ontario, Canada. Now, depending on the size of your boat, Lake Simcoe probably has a dozen marinas that can handle boats up to 50 or 60 feet. You know, anything from little runabouts right up to the big cruisers. And generally when I reply to those questions, most of the time I say it depends on a few factors. And one of which is, as in real estate, location, location, location. Now, depending on how far you're willing to travel by car to get to the marina, probably a dozen or more marinas that would potentially be decent candidates. However, the caveat is, beyond how far you're willing to travel every weekend to get to your boat, is what kind of services that you want or expect in a marina. Now, I do pretty much all my own mechanical repairs and upgrades and stuff like that on our boats, so I don't necessarily need a big mechanical service department in the marina where we keep our boat. Now, that said, it's nice to have just in case there's that one thing that is a little bit beyond my skill set, or if I need specialty tools or whatnot. So it's nice to have an on-site mechanical shop, but again, I don't really need that. Now, that said, there's a lot of people that don't do any work on their boats. They don't even want to do an oil change. So that means they'll necessarily want to have a mechanical service available on site all the time. So that's probably going to be a big thing for a lot of people to look for when they're looking at potential marinas, to make sure that both the mechanical department as well as an on-site parts department. Now, another thing to consider is if you're going to keep the boat on site year round, that would mean that there would have to be some sort of storage facility, either in slip, covered slips, where they raise the boats right there, or if they can haul the boats out, shrink wrap them, or do whatever you think you will need to keep your boat there all year. So that's one other thing to take a look at. Now, as good as a marina might look on paper, I would strongly suggest that you actually go physically look at a marina in person. Drive through the marina yourself, or at least drive up to the marina. Drive around, take a look at it, see how its location might fit into what your desires would be, as well as just take a look at the facilities and so on and so forth. Maybe talk to the marina operator, the manager, or service department guys, and see if you think you might be comfortable dealing with those people on a regular basis. Now, another thing that I really would suggest is, apart from talking to the marina staff, because of course their view is going to be skewed, they only work there, strongly would suggest that you actually get out and talk to the people who keep their boats there at the marina. Now, one other thing that I would take into consideration is maybe actually take your boat there and spend a night or two, spend a weekend there, and that way you'll get a better hands-on feel to see what the services are like, or just what it's like, and get a better sense of the vibe that's there. Many years ago, when we were considering relocating from our first marina to another one, we actually sought out a place that we had heard a lot of good things about, and we actually booked 2 overnight nights there and took our boat up there just to check it out. We had a great time, and it was really eye-opening. So on the first day, we walked through the entire marina and took a look at where the available slips were located, just to see if they may have work for us. And anybody that I had a chance to talk to, the people that were already there, the boaters that had their boats there, same question: how do you like it here? What's it like? What's the management like? Any issues, anything to consider that we may want to keep in mind? And everybody that we did talk to had high praise for the marina. Not only the marina itself, but the marina operators. Now, at the time, it was husband and wife partners, and they were really good, down-to-earth people. No, unfortunately, the marina sold after we were there for a few years. Fortunately, when the new management team came in, let's just say, well, we weren't compatible, and we decided to move on from there. Now, over the last 25 plus years, we've done a lot of traveling, and I've had an opportunity to overnight in at least 3 dozen different marinas during that time. And I can tell you that's always been a big eye-opener for us, because as you could imagine, different marinas have different ways of doing things, locations and services, and also attitude. So again, that's a great opportunity to check out any marina, actually physically take your boat there, drive it there, spend a night or two if you can, and just get a feel for the place. So that's about it. The big takeaways would be location, of course, what kind of services that you might expect that you would want in a particular marina. Of course, the biggest one, in my opinion, would be to actually talk to the boaters who are at that marina. and just get a sense of what they feel that the services can be, lack thereof, or big one, the attitude of the managers. Like I said, we've done a lot of traveling. We stayed at a lot of marinas over the years. We've been passionate boaters for 25 to 30 years. So we've seen a lot. We've had a lot of great and inspiring experiences, but unfortunately we've also had a couple of those really turn you off type of experiences. So like I said, the best way to determine that yourself, go visit these places, talk to the people who are there, and get their feel and their stories and their insights, and hopefully you can make a decision from there. Alrighty, that's it. Happy marina shopping. Cheers. We'll see you in the next one.